What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski and welcome back to the Karsatowski Bowling YouTube channel. So today we're going to be reviewing the 2000 PBA Don Carter Classic. So let's get on to the title match. This is the title match of the 2000 PBA Don Carter Classic with number 1 seed Steve Jarris versus Norm Duke. That one goes a touch high and trips out the 4-pin. Norm Duke has a career total of 40 PBA Tour titles with 7 majors, which with EJ's recent World Championship victory is, I believe, tied 6th of all time. And he also has a couple Player of the Years. And his opponent, Steve Jarris, has 7 PBA Tour titles, including 1 major, which he won. I think it was the 2007 Tournament of Champions, I think it was. And he is a recent Hall of Fame inductee in the, in not the performance category in the PBA, but like the Meritorious Service category. And he has also bowled a perfect game on television, just like Norm Duke has. He starts off with a double here, going pretty inside the lane and keeping his angles real tight. Norm Duke is doing what he normally does and going straight, going relatively straight. Has a light mixer there, so both bowlers start off with an opening double. You know, those striped shirts don't really look too great on camera. Yeah, especially cameras before, like, 15 years ago or so just don't really pick all that up too well. And Norm Duke gets a bucket crumbler strike. Alright, so Norm Duke starts off with a turkey. This was also right around the time that the PBA was purchased by Microsoft. 3 years before this, the PBA lost their deal with ABC Sports, and Steve Jarris gets an opening turkey as well. So they lost their deal with ABC Sports, and they recently went over to ESPN around this time. And that deal lasted for pretty much a solid 2 decades until now it's with Fox Sports. Steve Jarris is keeping his pocket really far in the middle of the lane there. That one split the 8-pin. Norm Duke's playing a similar line to Jarris, and he keeps getting bucket crumbler strikes. Norm Duke's ball seems to be skidding a little bit more down lane than Jarris. Jarris is getting his ball to finish up in the pocket a little bit stronger. PBA in cyberspace. Yeah, this was also not too far. Yeah, this video is kind of chopping up a little bit. Yeah, this is also not too long after the PBA started having their own website. There you go, good looking shot there, and he gets his ball to face up nicely. Alright, so that's Duke with an opening Yahtzee. Jarris has an opening ham bone. Can he get a Yahtzee of his own? Pretty good looking shot there. Man, he carried that 10-pin. Dadgum. So both bowlers start off with a Yahtzee. I don't think I've done a bowling breakdown where both players were this lined up in a title match. carry that 7-pin. There we go. So Jairus with an opening 6-pack. And they still have those commercial breaks. I'll skip this a little bit. All right, we're back. So both players are perfect through 5.5 frames. There we go. The ball looks like it skid once again, but it continues to carry the building. Goodness sakes. Yeah, Norm Duke just trying to stay loose during the commercial break. That's something that he's done throughout his entire career. It's a little bit high. Oh, first miss of the match. Leave that weak 10 pin. That ball didn't quite come around the corner quite hard enough right there. Yeah, his ball finished a little bit flat. It never did finish flush in the pocket. But, pick this 10 pin up and figure out a way to strike. This is going to be a really high title match. I mean, it's proving to be a really high title match so far. Let's just see if 279 is going to be enough to win. Oh, that ball just hooked a little bit too much. He needed that ball to push a little bit more. And if he picks up this 4-pin, both players will be even with a possible 279. Oh, flirting with that a little bit there. Yeah, there we go. Barely got that 4-pin. Alright, so Jairus just make a very similar shot on this left lane here. And he should get a pretty good result. He might have to make a little bit of adjustment here on this lane. I guess not. That ball hit 10 in the pit. He'll need to make an adjustment on the right lane though, but it won't need to be anything too major, I don't think. Neither one of these players are leaving any splits, so at least their ball is doing the right thing. So they're pretty much going to make micro adjustments, whether that be with their feet or their ball speed or targeting. And that is back-to-back 10 pins for Duke. That was a ring 10 that time, so the ball actually did finish in the pocket pretty strong, but it didn't have quite enough to carry the 10 pin. But the wind almost knocked it over though. So now Duke needs to pick up this 10 pin and then make a slight adjustment on that left lane. There you go. Going pretty end over end for spare balls, which is ideal for any kind of 10 pin. And for a 7 pin if you're a left-hander. Okay, Norm Duke is only down by 1 pin with 2 frames to go. So strike in the 9th frame to set up the 10th. That ball skid and it almost left a dadgum 5-10. But it tripped everything again. That's like the 5th time that Norm Duke had a pretty epic mixing strike this match. But that good touch, and you can carry the building with that if you got the right ball. And Jairus made an adjustment and had back-to-back 2 of his best shots of the day. Alright, here's situation now. So Steve Jairus can pretty much double in the 10th frame to shut out Norm Duke. Let's see here. Perfect shot. Jairus needs one more just like that. The last 3 shots that Steve Jarris has thrown have been absolutely dead perfect. Oh, that ball went way high. Oh, definitely his worst shot of the match. Looks like he yanked it, and it leaves the 6-10. Yeah, that ball never did get quite far enough to the right. Ugh. Oh, and he missed the 6-pin. Well, he flirted with that 4-pin, and he didn't get so fortunate with that 6-pin. So where does that finish him off on? Well, he's given Norm Duke a little bit of life now. Very interesting how matches can swing due to one shot. And that's probably Norm Duke's best looking shot of the match. Norm Duke can go for a possible 268. Another light hit, and there you go. Wow. Yeah, I think everybody in the audience thought that Norm Duke was out of it when he had back-to-back 10 pins and Jarris just kept striking. But that 10th frame would end up being Jarris's undoing in this match. Wow. So that proves that it ain't over until it's over. And that's exactly what he needed. Leave that 7-pin. Wow. Dadgum. Goodness sakes. 267, 266. Well, that is a very high scoring match, and most of the time the first one to not strike is usually the one to lose, but that just shows you that it ain't over until it's over. Well, anyway, everyone, so if you have enjoyed this video, then be sure you give it a like. Also, if you want to see any more videos just like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any videos. I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content, and I'll see you in that next video. See ya!